A nyní vás provedeme Rádiem Svobodná Evropa, známým jako Radio Free Europe, které začalo vysílat po druhé světové válce.
My job is newscasting, reading the news in my native language.
V době, kdy se v Evropě znovu obnovovaly demokratické pořádky. Původně se vysílalo z Mnichova. Na konci let 80., kdy se hroutily komunistické systémy jako domečky z karet, to skoro vypadalo, že svoji misi, tedy chránit demokracii a šířit svobodné myšlenky, jednou provždy splnilo a může být ukončeno. Náš tehdejší prezident Václav Havel však na půdě amerického kongresu vyjádřil velké znepokojení, aby se západní země nenechaly uchlácholit chvilkovým vzplanutím sametu. Nabídl této instituci budovu uprostřed Prahy, opuštěné federální shromáždění. Byl tak jedním z hlavních aktérů další éry této stanice, která svoji pozornost rozšířila z východní Evropy na Blízký východ a postupně dále. Z Prahy se začalo vysílat 1. června 1995 a tak je tomu dodnes. Kvůli bezpečnosti se v roce 2009 ještě jednou stěhovalo, a to z centra do speciální budovy s vysokým stupněm zabezpečení na Hagiboru. Je právem hodnoceno jako jedno z nejlepších, vysoce aktuálních a technicky skvěle vybavených novinářských pracovišť na světě. A zatím stojí lidé, které dnes poznáte.
My position is Director Pangea, and it's a content management system that is used within Radio Free Europe, Voice of America, and Office of Cuban Broadcasting to deploy the news online around the globe. Pangea Digital supports VOA, OCB, and RFE. All of their websites, there's 110, and there's 650 million unique visitors on those websites. We have 3 billion page views, so it's quite a large operation. In the past, because of those time constraints, we constantly just added code to code to code to code to code and really didn't think long term. But that's not sustainable because we keep adding hardware. We need more people to manage that hardware. It was an old way of deploying code and old infrastructure, old way of doing this. So it was apparent to me that we needed to change. And it wasn't just because of the staff and that pressure and the money involving like buying all this equipment on premise. The journalists wanted us to have quicker releases. From an HR perspective, if we would have continued just doing the easy way of just blobbing on code, we risked losing talented developers because they don't want to develop on legacy systems, something that was done, 5-10 years ago. Moving toward this new architecture and containerization of the code, which we're also moving toward. Once we're finished, our expectation is that we can have a release per, say, feature, or however it's split apart. Whereas before there were so many dependencies because it was one big blob of code, and it kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger and more dependencies, and it's untenable. We want to move toward modernization of moving to the cloud, containerization, continuous integration and continuous delivery, automated testing, whereas in the past everything was manual. Content containers, what it means is that basically we're taking apart like a functionality, say video upload. The user wants to upload a video to the content management system, whereas in the past it was part of the holistic code. We have taken that part of it, separated it, so those dependencies aren't there, and that has been containerized, Dockerized. We're using Docker, and eventually moving to Tanzu orchestration. So that has been separated, and it currently is in production. So if we ever have any issues with video upload, we don't have to wait for a full release 6 weeks in order to address it. We can address it immediately. The word of the day of cloud, everything's cloud, 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 but we can't lift and shift our current, legacy architecture to the cloud. That's not cost effective, it doesn't solve any problems. So we first have to make our code, cloud ready, make our infrastructure cloud ready. We're currently using cloud services for several features, but the goal for hybrid cloud is to move the responsive front-end sites to AWS or Azure, whereas I think some systems need to continue to be on-prem. So we will be using cloud in a smart way. We need to make sure that every decision that's made is made with proper analysis so that we don't have surprises moving forward. We can't afford it. We've been working with Dell and Dataforce because they're experts in this field to train up our sysadmins and DevOps teams. Before this, we'd never had a DevOps team. There's no need for it. So we're basically learning as we're going, working with Dell and Dataforce on this as well. Human beings, on average, are change adverse. People, in general, like what they know, and anything different, there's always going to be pushback. Frankly, I think we stayed too long on the legacy code, and so I'm eager to get rid of that, remove that, and move toward ECS storage, VxRail, VMware, and eventually hybrid cloud. And then we're much more agile as a team. With any big decision like this, it's a risk. And you need to have people around you that you trust and that you build a relationship with over years, which I had, and it was clear to me, both with external partners like Dell and senior staff within Pangea, the direction that we needed to go. So, I made that decision and we haven't looked back. And I'm very excited about where we're going to be in the next year.